The different lineup tonight. And Ishiru in the box, standing squarely in the middle of the batter's box, taking ball one.
Yeah, Francisco Liriano making his 7th start of the year and his 2nd this year against the Mariners. We said in the open he lost 6-1 to Hernandez here on my birthday, April 6th.
1-1.
And you know what, if you're a youngster like Liriano, Dick, you want to go into this ball game thinking that, you know what, I almost have to pitch a outstanding errorless free ball game because of who he's facing.
Roller to short. Harris picks it up, and Ishiru retired to start the ball game.
Well, Liriano's, take a look at his scouting report, starting to find his pitching groove, coming off a very good outing, his best outing of the year in his last start in Detroit. He ended up winning 7-2, 7 1/3 innings, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, a season high. And like I mentioned before, he lost to Hernandez on opening day here, 6-1. So a little revenge here, hopefully tonight against the Mariners.
Jose Lopez hitting next for the Mariners, and Liriano delivers a strike. Although Liriano did lose here, he did not pitch that poorly.
No.
He didn't walk anybody. The Mariners hit a couple of balls over the fence. He gave up 4 hits, and all 4 runners or hitters who hit successful scored. That was the extent of their offense.
Yeah. Ken Griffey Jr. hit a solo home run in the 5th, and then Franklin Gutierrez hit a 2-run home run in the 6th.
1-2 to Lopez. And Gutierrez hitting down lower in the order, hitting 8th right now for the Mariners. And Scott Baker set the bar pretty high last night with 7 shutout innings, and Liriano hoping to pitch equally as effectively. And a good start with a quick ground out from Ishiru and a strikeout for out number 2. Twins out on the field, coming back with the same lineup they had last night. Young, Span, and Cuddyer across the outfield. Busher, Harris, Tolbert, and Morneau across the infield. And Joe Mauer back behind the plate. And Ron Gardenhire reiterating today that he'd like to get Mauer's bat in the lineup again tomorrow, but if so, it'll probably be as a designated hitter tomorrow. 2 gone, and here's Mike Sweeney.
Yeah, Mike Sweeney in his first season with the Mariners. Of course, 13 seasons with the Royals, last year with the Oakland A's.
Ball 1. And the Mariners hope that Sweeney will be healthy this year.
Yeah, he's had some knee problems. He had some knee problems last year with the Oakland A's. Oakland's actually ended up releasing him the first part of September of last year, then signed a 1-year contract, a minor league contract with the Seattle Mariners.
Playable for Cuddyer, and a 1-2-3 9-pitch first inning for Francisco Liriano. Back the same way with Denard Span leading off, Matt Tolbert hitting 2nd. Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, Jason Kubel, middle of the lineup. Everybody in the lineup tonight was there last night, and they all scored a run and got a hit last night.
Well, let's hope they can do that again tonight. It's going to be a little bit tougher tonight because Felix Hernandez is on the mound, just 23 years old, already in his 5th season with the Mariners. He will attack the strike zone. Very good stuff. Good moving fastball. Get clocked up in the upper 90s at times. Hard curveball, hard slider, and a very good changeup. And he's had success against the Twins. Over his career, 3 wins, 2 losses, but a very good 2.23 combined ERA.
And he delivers strike 1 to Denard Span. Last night, Span dumped a single to left. Tolbert cracked a double, and the Twins were off and running, getting a couple of first-inning runs. This one hit high in the air to left field. Vladimir Valentin lost it. And Span will end up at second base. Well, the Mariners really struggling, and a routine fly ball is lost by Valentin, and the Twins catch an early break.
Well, you know, sometimes this time and also tomorrow day games, that flight of the ball is hard to see. As the sun goes down, it gets darker up there, but Valentin had no idea where this ball was until it was too late. And it'll be ruled a double for Span. A Teflon bag double.
Tomorrow afternoon, the Mariners will play their last ever game in here. They opened up this ballpark back in 1982. And tomorrow afternoon, they'll be done with the Metrodome. And Valentin wishing that last night was the last game the Mariners played here. Ball 1 to Tolbert in a bunting situation. This figures to be a pitcher's duel, emphasizing the importance of getting that first run on the board. So we'll see if the Twins have Tolbert sacrifice himself to get Span to third base. And Tolbert thinking ball 2. If there's such a thing as a good pitch to hit, it stands to reason there's a good pitch to bunt, and Tolbert hasn't found one yet.
Well, what you want to do, and I'm sure Tolbert knows this, he wants to bunt that ball toward Beltre at third base. And a good eye.
3-0.
Now Hernandez coming off a terrible outing in his last start against the Rangers in Seattle. He gave up 6 runs on 10 hits in 6 innings. His first outing in May. April was outstanding.
3-1.
I think if Zach Greinke had not had the month of April that he had, Felix Hernandez may have been the pitcher of the month in the American League. 4-0 with a 2.38 ERA. Zach Greinke won the award with the Kansas City Royals.
And now Tolbert draws a walk. So 2 batters into tonight's first inning. Both Span and Tolbert are aboard for Mauer, Morneau, and the Twins hope a few others. Northland Ford defense for the Mariners. You've seen a befuddled Valentin in left. Cuddyer is very good in center. Of course, Ichiro, a perennial Gold Glove winner in right. Beltre, Betancourt, Lopez, and Branyan in the infield, and Jojima again does the catching.
Yeah, 22 errors for the Seattle Mariners. That's 12th most in the American League, where the Twins have made only 13. The fewest in the American League.
Last night, Mauer's first plate appearance came with runners at second and third and nobody out. And both he and Morneau made outs but drove in runs. Now a ground ball to second base is not going to be what Joe wants.
Well, very good numbers right there against Hernandez. 8 for 14 with a home run and 3 RBIs with 3 walks.
1-1. When Hernandez pitched here on opening night, he was kind of a man on a mission. He felt slighted the year before when the Mariners handed their opening day assignment to newly acquired Eric Bedard. Don Wakamatsu said in spring training Hernandez was his opening day starter, and he pitched like one on opening night. Down and away, 2-1. Now the Twins will face Bedard tomorrow, so to get the 2 top Seattle starting pitchers in the back 2/3 of this series. Two and 1 to Mauer. And now 2-2.
Well, Hernandez making his 7th start of the year, his 111th major league start. He has 43 wins, 37 losses, a career ERA coming into this ball game at 3.77. Won his first major league game against the Twins back in 2005 when he beat Kyle Lohse and the Twins 1-0 in his 2nd major league start.
2-2 to Mauer. And that kicks away from Jojima. Span to third. And now Mauer will be up with a 3-2 count and runners at 2nd and 3rd.
Well, a wild pitch will be charged to Hernandez, his 2nd wild pitch of the year. A fastball that lands in front of the plate and then ricochets off of Kenzie Jojima, the catcher. So both runners advance.
So Hernandez aware, I'm sure, that Mauer has kind of worn him out, maybe overthrew a pitch, trying to strike him out in a key spot, and instead 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, and the count's full.
Well, same situation he's in last night. This time he gets a base hit.
Into the right field corner. He'll score 2. And the Twins take a quick 2-0 lead. You don't see Mauer hit the ball down the right field line that often, but he picked a good time to do it here.
Well, it's because where the pitch was. You see, it's a breaking ball, and Joe, he does such a great job of keeping his head on the bat as the ball makes contact, pulling the ball past the diving Russell Branyan. And the Twins, like last night, take an early 2-0 lead. So Joe Mauer gets his 3rd double of the year now with 8 RBIs on the season.
Justin Morneau up. Down and away, ball 1. In Hernandez's last start, he gave up a lot of hits and a lot of runs, 6 of them and 6 earned runs. He did not walk a batter. And here in the 2nd at bat of this inning, or 2nd plate appearance, he walked Tolbert, who was simply trying to make an out.
Right.
And then he ran the count full to Mauer, and now misses badly on the first pitch to Morneau.
Yeah, Rick Adair out there talked to his young right-hander.
Roy Smalley, what do you remember about Hernandez's first start against the Twins here on opening night?
Well, you know, Dick and Bert, he's got, as Brendan Harris said last night, electric stuff. But with every pitcher that's this kind of caliber, you got to get him early. If you remember back to opening night, the Twins loaded the bases with 1 out, could not get a run in. This is huge to get a quick 2 runs in the first inning against a pitcher this caliber. It's early in the game when you got to get these guys.
Down and away, and it's 2-0.
And if you're at home, you're saying, you know, why do you have to get them early? Because pitchers like Hernandez, that all good pitchers, they get into a groove. We saw it from Brad Radke. Radke always seemed to give up a run or 2 in the first inning, and then he'd put zeros on the board right after that. You know, it takes a while sometimes to get the feeling of the mound, the feeling of what the umpire's giving you, the feeling of the stuff that you have that day. Your stuff's going to change from outing to outing, so now he's trying to make the adjustment and try to get out of this inning with only giving up a couple runs.
That's right, Bert, and all really, really good pitchers are like that, as you know.
2-1 to Morneau, and it's 3-1 with first base open, and Jerry White is already overloaded there with batting gloves and other kinds of equipment, protective devices. He's seen 3 batters come through his station and get rid of equipment.
Hey, it's kind of like a closet down there, isn't it?
3-1 to Morneau, and that's ball 4. And then, too, I would imagine there's the notion that, look, runs are going to come at a premium against this guy. Hits are. We caught a break on the Denard Span fly ball. We better take advantage of that, or we're going to be in for a really long night.
And the Twins have so far. You take advantage of what happens, and you know, that fly ball that was lost in the baggie, you take advantage of it, or the Teflon roof, excuse me.
And Hernandez now facing Kubel with 2 men on, still nobody out. A couple of walks, a couple of doubles, 1 roof aided. Ball 1.
And 19 pitches thrown, only 7 have been for strikes. Kubel 3 for 9 lifetime against Hernandez.
Outside, 2-0.
He has that two-seam fastball that he's been throwing, and it's just staying outside. He's got to move that ball a little bit more toward the middle of the plate if it's running that much. Hernandez from Venezuela, signed as a free agent by the Mariners in 2002.
And Kubel gets a good swing on that fastball and fouls it to the net. 2-1. It started with Span. He and Tolbert have each scored again in this first inning, and Liriano saying thank you, thank you. Dribbler towards short. They'll get the out there, and the out there. A little dribbler to third, and Beltre starts a 5-4-3 double play.
Well, a little shovel pass right here from Betancourt over to Lopez, and Lopez quick throw, very close play. And Hernandez likes it. Pitcher's best friend, that double play.
Well, Hernandez, who was on the ropes, now is trying to get out of the corner. And Cuddyer hoping to get Mauer in from third base. Ball 1. Over for a strike. And Hernandez about to throw his 25th pitch of this first inning.
Cuddyer has struggled against Hernandez, just 1 hit in 16 at-bats.
Great stop by Beltre. And the Gold Glove winner throws him out to end the inning. Cuddyer with a one-hop rocket for the third out. Joe Mauer went the other way, drove in a couple after picking up a lot of hardware before the game tonight.
A 2-0 lead, and as you should know, tomorrow is Mother's Day, and Major League Baseball always pays tributes to moms as well as breast cancer awareness. The guys use pink bats and wristbands. Well, tomorrow, a little bit of a different twist. Check that out. pink shoes. This shoe, well, both shoes actually, will be worn by Justin Morneau tomorrow. He will be the only guy wearing this Reebok pink cleat tomorrow, in addition to the wristband as well as the pink bat. It's a partnership with Reebok and Avon, Avon's foundation for women. And after the game, Justin will sign the shoe, and then eventually those shoes will be up for auction. So a pretty cool deal honoring moms and breast cancer awareness. Guys, back upstairs to you.
Well, thank you, Ann. I saw Nick Punto today taking batting practice with the pink bat he's going to use tomorrow. He had it all slathered up with pine tar and all that, trying to get a game ready for tomorrow.
If you saw that right there, Brendan Harris made a great throw right there. I mean, he was in deep short, and he showed off that great arm that he has to get Beltre for the first out here in the off to a pretty good start as a part-time player. Big swing right there. Valentin only 24 years old. I think we mentioned that when they were in the first time. We were looking forward to him maybe being part of the Dutch team in the World Baseball Classic, but he decided to stay with the Mariners. It's probably a good thing. I think he made the club out of spring training because of that.
That foul. The latest, and you won't like this, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. The latest indictment of the WBC coming from Jim Leland, who says that he believes the reason Maglio Ordonez hasn't hit for much power is that the WBC and the demands to try to hit for power early in the season changed his swing.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. You know, it's baseball's decision to play that WBC now every 4 years, and again, it's up to the player to decide whether they want to play in it or not. Valentin had that opportunity to play for the Dutch team. He thought otherwise, and now he's on the major league roster. Right there, he's his second strikeout victim for Francisco Liriano. Good hard slider down in the strike zone.
In his last start, Liriano was on the ropes a little bit. He went back to his slider to strike out the side, and he said afterwards he thought that might have been the best slider he's had this year in his last start.
But again, what the key was, he got ahead with the fastball. He got ahead to where he could get that strikeout on his strikeout pitch, and that being the slider.
You think of the Mariners, you think of Ichiro, a left-handed batter, Ken Griffey Jr., Russell Branyan off to a good start. All left-handed batters, but for some reason they are doing very well against left-handed starters. Our Chrysler key stat, and they're 7-1 against lefties.
Yeah, go figure. I mean, the game of baseball, you just don't know. You don't know how certain who are the lefties that they beat. You know, probably some pretty good lefties.
Yeah, they beat Liriano on opening night.
Right.
1-1 to Branyan.
Well, that man Ichiro can hit right or lefties. Doesn't matter.
In Liriano's last start, he threw about 30 sliders, and that was a little higher than what Rick Anderson and Ron Gardenhire would want. But Gardy said today it's a far cry from the over-reliance on the slider that Liriano showed prior to his surgery.
Well, again, everything keys off the fastball. The more fastballs you can throw for strikes, then you only maybe have to throw one or two to get that guy out. But you see what he's throwing, a lot of sliders right here. That fastball just missing down. Chuck Merriweather saying that Branyan held up.
3-2. Branyan struck out 3 times in last night's game. Jojima on deck. Not a strikeout. Tolbert stays with it, makes the play, and Liriano has back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings.
That looks good.
Well, it should after what your pregame meal was. My goodness, you doing okay?
I'm doing fine. I just somebody brought up some cookies, and I'm having a cookie, and I was wondering that first one, since I swallowed it whole, if it's enjoying the cookie.
I just want you to know, here's a fly down the left field line, and it landed on the field, but beyond Ballantine. I spent considerable time feeding those night crawlers. They were in my worm box at home for about a week, and I wanted them to be plump and juicy for you.
They were. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. Busher, Young, and Harris. And Busher with a swing and a foul, 2 quick strikes.
I'm sure you fed them all natural food.
Worm food, whatever that is. I have a big tub of worm food, and you just sprinkle it on top, and they go crazy for it.
Again, I want to thank, and I know we don't want to beat a dead horse, but thank everybody that donated to Parkinson's. And there's a strikeout right there. Good hard breaking ball by Hernandez to get Bush looking for his first strikeout of the ball game. Yeah, over $15,000 was raised. Very, very nice. And I thank Fox too for everybody that put the website together. Everybody in the truck, guys. Everybody did a great job. Dick, thank you very much. Ron Coomer, everybody.
One gone, and here's Delman Young. Young, with his increased playing time, has had a profound increase in his batting average. It would stun most Twins fans, I think, to see that Delman Young is hitting over 300. Tap foul, 0-2.
Well, you know what, Dick? If you look at Delman Young's not only minor league records, I mean, in the minor leagues, he put up some very good years to get to the Rays in less than maybe two and a half years. In the minor leagues, he averaged .317 batting average.
Back to Hernandez. And 2 quick outs here in the second.
In his first year with the full season with the Rays, he hit .288, and then last year he hit .290 for the Twins. So the guy can hit. Twins maybe are just waiting for this 23-year-old to get a little more power in his bat. Only 1 double on the year with 1 home run.
2 gone, and here's Brendan Harris, who opened up the ball game last night with a 3-run second-inning home run. His home run with 2 men on base, the first such home run for the Twins this year. In fact, Twins for most of this year have gone with Punto and Creedy on the left side of the infield. And both substitute players, if you will, Busher and Harris, each hit a 3-run home run last night.
Well, Harris is a player, utility player that does have some power. 7 home runs last year, a career high 12 home runs for the Rays a couple years ago.
1-1 to Harris. Harris might see some time at third base tomorrow. Joe Creedy, in all likelihood, will be sitting out again tomorrow with an off day on Monday. High chopper over the mound. Lopez is there and throws him out. Much better inning for Hernandez, who couldn't retire the first 4 batters, and now he's retired 5 in a row.
Cinnamon tooth.
This Minnesota moment brought to you by Explore Minnesota. You can visit exploreminnesota.com and plan your next Minnesota vacation today. You're looking at the Root River Trail near Lanesboro in the historic Bluff Country area of southeast Minnesota. A 60-mile paved Root River Trail winds 60 miles through Bluff Country. And it's in a great area for biking, hiking, and cross-country skiing. First pitch to Jojima, lifted to right. Playable for Cuddyer. He's drifting back, and near the end of the track makes the catch.
How far was that trail?
It's a 60-mile paved road, and it goes 60 miles through the Bluff Country.
I'll be darned.
Tomorrow is Mother's Day, and we invite you to bring Mom out to the ballpark. Twins and Mariners play at 1:10, and the first 5,000 females will get a Twins t-shirt, courtesy of myoptimhealth.com. Call 800-33-TWINS. Reserve your tickets for tomorrow's game, and yes, have a happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
One gone quickly in the third, and here's Franklin Gutierrez. 7 up, 7 down for Liriano so far. Low ball one. Gutierrez overall pretty good numbers, getting a chance to play on a regular basis. But when they've tried to move him up in the lineup, he hasn't responded particularly well to that. So for the time being, he'll hit in the bottom of the lineup for Seattle. Not uncommon for a young developing player to do better in a less pressure spot in the batting order. 1-1 to Gutierrez. Popped up behind second base. Harris out. Span in. Who wants it? Who sees it? And it's Harris taking control 2 away. Betancourt coming to the plate, but first a chance for you to ask us a question online at carsoup.com/baseball. Jessica Castro from St. Paul wondering what guidelines do teams have in creating the dimensions of their home ballpark. And during the last inning break went over and talked with Twins general manager Bill Smith about that. And he says, what, in essence, as you look at Target Field, it's one of the great things about baseball. You can tailor your ballpark toward
your club, maybe
your club perhaps, or just however you want to do it. In Houston, they got the silly hill out in center field.
Right.
If you want to do that, the bouncer to short. We'll talk more about that later, because Liriano is just breezing through the Mariners 1, 2, 3 innings and an early 2-0 lead. Twins took advantage of a lost fly ball. Denard Span got a double to start the ball game. They scratched across a couple of runs, and that's where we're at as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Hernandez has set down 5 men in a row. And Span takes up and away, ball 1. As we have a chance, we want to continue the thought regarding the carsoup.com email question, and dimensions of, let's say, target field. Well, the Twins do have some limits as to what they can do. According to the rule book, the foul lines have to be a minimum of 250 feet, and preferable that they be at least 320 feet from home plate. Now, that's a rule that obviously wasn't in effect when Fenway Park was built. 1-1 to Span, and he takes ball 2. What Bill Smith said, the Twins are somewhat limited with target field and the footprint there because it's a small parcel of land, about 2/3 the size of, say, Jacobs Field in Cleveland. And where it will impact the field of play is in the limited amount of foul territory.
So it's not going to be like Oakland that has all that foul territory? Oh, no. Everything for the hitters.
They could do that, but then no one would be able to watch the game. There would be no seating area.
I tell you what, we showed target field right there. That looks like, I mean, it's about ready to play some baseball in it.
Into the Twins dugout or in that direction. 2-2. And of course, that's one of the great things about baseball. When we get a chance to go to these different ballparks, everyone is different. Houston is short down the left field line, and they put a train on top of the left field wall. And there's a look at what we're going to be playing next year. Span fouled on the right field line.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
What Bill suggested was that what Major League Baseball mandates is that you make every good faith effort to make the ballpark fair.
Right. Common sense.
You don't want it 270 feet down the right field line and 380 down the left field line.
No, you want a 380 down the left and 380 down the right.
Just off the plate, and it's 3-2. Was that the Griffith Stadium? It was just huge to left field. Harmon Killebrew, of course, signed with the Senators. Tells a story about going to Griffith Stadium. It was 424 down the left field line. And Harmon, 18 years old when he signed and showed up at Griffith Stadium and could hardly see the left field fence. It was so far away.
Yeah, hit it out of here, son. Well, he found a way to hit him out.
3-2. Span trying to get aboard to start the third inning. Of course, there have been issues now this year with new Yankee Stadium and all the home runs hit there, at least early on. But the intent is for the ballpark to be built fairly. Did he go? No, Chuck Merriweather says, and Span coaches a leadoff walk.
Good at bat right there by Span. Typical leadoff hitter. Takes some pitches. Fouled was some off. A third walk of the ball game for Hernandez.
Well, if you want to see where those little guys ended up as part of Bert's pregame meal, you can go to Facebook.com and search FSN North. They just posted it on Facebook. And you can still donate to what is a very worthy cause. Pardon my asking, but I feel compelled to ask, are you doing okay?
I'm fine. You see me getting up once in a while just to kind of make sure that that one that I swallowed that I didn't chew up, make sure he gets down.
Now, I did see you eat a yogurt afterward.
Yes.
And I've never seen you eat yogurt before.
Somebody told me, you're right. Somebody told me I should eat yogurt after I swallow these things. Something to do with bacteria. It's bacteria killing bad bacteria, I guess.
Span takes off. Jojima's throw in time to get him.
Well, first time a catcher's been able to get Denard Span. He was 7 for 7 in stolen base attempts. And Jojima with that two-seam fastball. Watch this ball. Great. I mean, a great throw right there to Betancourt that applies the tag. A very close play at second base.
Here's Tolbert with one strike and now two. So Hernandez walked a couple in the first inning, and the first inning was just a mess for Hernandez and the Mariners. And now he takes care of the leadoff walk here in the third by retiring Span trying to steal. One strikeout so far, and Hernandez on our Firestone leaderboard, and he's just picked up strikeout number 2. So Tolbert retired, and that'll bring up Mauer. Mauer with the biggest at bats so far in the ball game with 2 men on. They eventually were both in scoring position after a wild pitch, and then Mauer pulled the ball down the right field line for a 2-run double.
Yeah, he is now 9 for 15 off of Hernandez.
Strike 1. When Liriano and Hernandez faced each other on opening night, it was Liriano who gave up the first runs of the game. Tonight, it went the other way. Hernandez had an inning in that game where the Twins looked like they were ready to break through and put together a big inning, and he allowed the Twins just 1 run in a bases loaded, nobody out situation. Down and away, 2-1. And to a lesser extent, he kind of did the same thing in the first inning. Twins looked like they were 1 good hit away from really taking control of this game.
Got the double play off the bat of Jason Kubel. That helped.
Beltre turned in a nice play. Mauer drives it to left. Ballantine back. There goes another one. All 3 home runs have gone in a pocket out there in left center field.
You know, I've been where Hernandez is, where you have a struggle against one certain hitter, and you always find yourself getting strike 1 and then trying to nibble, get ball 1, ball 2. Now you have to come in with a pitch, and Hernandez did, and Joe Mauer just took it the other way. Look at that power he can generate. Both hands on the bat, hitting his 3rd home run of the year, and it's a 3-0 Twins lead. All 3 RBIs knocked in by Joe Mauer.
Here's Justin Morneau, and he takes ball 1. Seriously, I think he could take a normal-sized tablecloth and throw it over the landing spot of Mauer's 3 home runs in left center field. 2-0. Morneau walked and was doubled off in Kubel's next at bat. 2-1. What is a hitting coach going to tell him right now?
Nothing. Joe, how are you? How you doing today? Can I get you something? Water? Can I get you a worm?
Yeah, look down the bench. Somebody else who might need a hitting coach.
Yeah, Joe's leaving. He said.
I'll go next to Matt Tolbert and talk to him. Joe Vavra, a great hitting coach for the Twins. Drilled to right. Gone to right. Back-to-back last night and back-to-back tonight.
Last night it was in the 5th inning. Here it is in the 3rd inning. Hernandez had just allowed 2 home runs coming into his 7th start. And here Mauer and Morneau, the M&M boys, put a couple good swings together. A line drive home run. And it's a 4-0 Twins lead.
Outside to Kubel, ball 1.
Or just in his 8th home run of the year.
Kubel lifts it to center. Chased by Gutierrez. That ball carrying and caught at the wall. Kubel nearly made it 3 in a row. So the left-handed batters,
warning track power,
doing very well here. We've got maybe the best left-handed batter in Twins history, Rod Carew, joining us when we come back. Justin Morneau following with a home run, so Mauer has driven in 3 of the 4 runs. Liriano's been great, 9 up, 9 down. And Joe Mauer, before the game, awarded his first Gold Glove and his second silver bat for his second American League batting championship. Ichiro taking strike 1 and 1. And the guy who awarded the silver bat, the guy who owns 7 of them of his own, Mr. Carew, good to have you up here.
Well, it's good to be back with you guys.
Where have you been?
Warm Southern California.
Well, quite an honor for Joe, who grew up here, to be presented the silver bat for the second time by you. What is it about Joe that impresses you the most as a hitter?
Well, first of all, I told Joe tonight, I said I expect some more out of him.
5 more, right?
5 more. Tony told him the same thing. So we're just priming him to go out there and win some more silver bats. But I think that the thing that he does great is that he uses the whole field to hit. You know, you can't play defense against him because he's going to take the inside pitch, a pitch that you think that he should pull, and hit it to left field or left center field or up the middle. So
Ichiro poses after getting hit by a pitch.
He's a tough out. He's just a tough out. And he has a great idea of what he wants to do at the plate.
Well, take a look at this fastball right here and getting Ichiro on that right hip. And there's a lot of cameras that follow him around. And that was really a nice pose. It was very nice.
He was groaning before the ball hit him. He knew that was
maybe it'll slow him down a little bit.
Lopez will hit, and Liriano having to pitch now from the stretch for the first time. You spent a lot of time with these Twins hitters, not just the left-handed hitters, but let me ask you, because they hit consecutively in the batting order, to contrast Justin Morneau's swing to Joe Mauer's swing.
Well, Justin, I think, pulls the ball a lot more. Joe, I don't really think tries to pull the ball. He just sees the ball and reacts to where the pitch is.
Hit hard to center, and another left-handed batter, Span, retreats to make the catch. Thrown away.
Rod, I know that Ron Coomer, Roy Smalley, I know Roy was talking about Joe, about how he's able to let the ball get deeper into the strike zone. I know a lot of kids out there, they say, what exactly does that mean?
Well, it means letting the ball get closer to home plate. And I think the closer that you can let the ball get to home plate, the better you can use your hands. You know, Joe allows a lot of pitches on the inner half of the plate to get real close to home plate, and then he, last split second, he uses his hands real well and get it through the hitting zone.
I was always amazed how quick you could get your hands through the zone, because you did a lot of what Joe did as far as a lot of your power and bases went the other way.
Sweeney drives one high and deep to left, and that one's not going to come back. So the Mariners cut the lead in half. Sweeney hitting his second home run for Seattle, and it's 4-2.
Well, we've seen Mike Sweeney when he was with the Royals. When he's healthy, this guy can hit. He's a career .299 hitter coming into this year. You make a mistake, and you see him drop the barrel of the bat, and he knew it was gone as soon as he hit it.
He's always been a great hitter, too. Yep. Very consistent around the plate.
Beltre will hit, with the Twins now leading 4-2. Beltre takes down and in, ball 1.
Did you do anything to create those strong wrists to be able to do that?
Well, you know,
I mean, you hit a lot off the tee.
Never use weights. I think I use dumbbells just to strengthen my hands, to base it up the middle by Beltre. But I used dumbbells to strengthen my hands. I wasn't one of those guys that used a lot of heavy weights. And I figured if my hands were strong, I was going to use them. You know, I would take the pitches on the inside half. But there are pitches that I also used to work on. I used to have extra batting practice, coaches throwing me pitches in so that I could try and manipulate those pitches to the opposite field instead of always trying to pull them.
Well, you told me in spring training a story that I think would be inspirational to a lot of kids who've tried to make their high school baseball team and couldn't make it. Down and in, ball 1. You said even as a senior in high school, you didn't play high school baseball. You got cut from the team?
Well, you know, I went out, practiced with the team. My coach told me I wasn't good enough, and I ended up playing sandlot baseball right outside of New York, of Yankee Stadium, exactly where the new stadium is right now. And played in the parks around the Bronx and Manhattan. And 2.5 years later, I'm in the big leagues and spent 19 years in the big leagues.
Did you ever see that coach again?
You know what's funny? He used to call me every now and then and ask me for tickets, and I would oblige him.
Well, that's the kind of guy you are right there. Rick Anderson out to talk to Liriano right here, try to get him back into the groove. But you know, when we talk about Joe Mauer, you know, he is one of those players that keeps both hands on the bat all the way through. And Rod, this is his home run right here. Take a look at his swing and how he extends so well.
That is something that I've tried to talk to hitters about. Keep both hands on the bat all the way through the swing. You get better extension, you're going to maintain better balance, and you're going to drive through the ball a lot better.
It's the Charlie Lau approach was to release the one hand and on your follow through, right?
Well, there's certain pitches that you're going to release that hand on the follow through, and those are pitches that are maybe down and away from you on the outer half of the plate. But pitches that are middle in, you're looking to try and drive the ball. So keeping both hands on the bat is going to help you do that.
Liriano hoping to not completely unravel here in the fourth inning.
Do you learn that? Because I remember, I mean, I played with you from 1970 to 76. You hit a lot off a tee.
Oh, definitely. Yes. You work on the tee a lot, and this allows you to move the tee around, hit the ball where it needs to be hit.
See Justin right there. I mean, he kept both hands on the bat right there, and look like going to show Mike Sweeney's home run.
You're going to generate a lot more power if you keep both hands on the bat. Better bat control through the hitting zone also.
That's good to know for a lot of youngsters out there, because every telecast we always talk about, we got to break it down. This is what the game's all about. Break it down to the simplest form.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think for a while most of the White Sox hitters were taking their hands off the bat because that's what they were taught. Frank Thomas, all those big guys, Michael Jordan when he came up and was playing baseball, and I was surprised because when you're that big, why not use both hands on the bat to help you drive the ball a little bit harder or further.
And the hitting coach in Chicago was Walt Riniak, who was a disciple of Charlie Lau.
Charlie Lau. I mean, that's where it all came up.
Runner goes, and it'll be a stolen base for Beltre. So the Mariners awakened perhaps with Suzuki being hit by the pitch. They've come back here, scored a couple of runs. Beltre singling sharply to center, now stealing second, and the count's 3-2 to Valentin.
Yeah, Beltre stealing his fifth base in 6 attempts, and had a great jump right there off of Liriano.
You know what happened, guys? I think a lot of times young players, young hitters, growing up, they want to imitate big league ball players, and then they start picking up bad habits, and instead of being themselves and knowing what they can do and just trying their best to stay within those bounds.
See, I tried to emulate Bert, but Bert as a hitter. That was my problem. We had all these great hitters in the Twins lineup, but I liked the way he swung the bat.
Well, Bert did
all 3 times.
Bert did go up there and take his rips, so that's one thing. He wasn't afraid to swing the bat.
No. And when they put that wrinkle on it, forget it. My rear end wanted the other dugout.
Just like the wrinkle I used to get when he threw it up there at me. He tried to stop me from getting my 3,000 hit out in California.
Yeah.
Throwing me that wrinkle.
Is that right?
He knew I couldn't hit it.
Yeah, and you got it the next day off of Frank Viola.
Off of
still laugh at Frankie for that.
He threw me a flatter wrinkle, though.
Branyan with a big swing, and it's 1-1. I remember that as if it were the day before yesterday, a Sunday afternoon. The Twins were in Anaheim, Frank Viola, and you hit a Rod Carew line drive to left field for number 3,000. Does that stand out as the most special moment for you in your career?
Now, the most special moment for me in my career was playing a game at the old Met, and I think I received about 6 or 7 standing ovations because I was hitting above 300.
Right.
Well, there's our Aflac question right there. From 72 to 78, Rod, you won 6 of 7 batting titles. When you did not win it, who won it? Are we supposed to answer this, or are we supposed to wait?
I don't know.
I don't want Steve S. to be mad at us.
Well, 1 year Tony won it, right? In 71.
Yeah, and who won it in 1970? Alex Johnson.
Alex Johnson.
Oh, that's right.
Well, I was leading the league that year when I got hurt. I think I was hitting about 390.
Oh my. That happened to Branyan here in the opening series of the year. A splintered bat. And the guy in the blue hoodie got hit in the left arm. Remember, he did that on back-to-back at bats in the opening series of the year here. And one time the barrel of the bat ended up about where that ended up.
Boy, it almost becomes a flying spear, you know, and thank goodness everybody's okay.
2-2 to Branyan.
It's dangerous.
Yep.
And now a full count with Jojima on deck. Liriano literally sailing through 3 innings, 9 up, 9 down. And now this will be his 50th pitch of the evening. Liriano in the first 3 innings struck out a couple.
Yeah, he only needed 9 pitches to get out of the first inning, and then he needed the California math. Here we go. 13 in the second, then only 6. Right now, this will be his 20th pitch.
And Branyan walks to fill first base.
Excuse me, 22nd pitch of the inning.
And Jojima will come up with the tying run aboard.
Yeah, not missing by much right here. Liriano walks his first batter of the ball game. Wow.
That's a pitch that's too close to take.
Usually take it because you can't hit it.
Jojima with a fly to right his first time up. It was a quick out in that 6-pitch 3rd inning. Jojima with a strong throw to throw out Denard Span. In front of the 2 home runs that were hit by the Twins. Low ball 1.
Bert, did you ever lose your focus during the course of a ball game, like for an inning?
Oh yeah.
I think hitters and pitchers go through that. You know, we kind of lose our focus for an at bat or 2, and then we regain it. Maybe that's what.
Always say, Rod, you know, if you go 9 innings, there's a base hit to left field. That's going to still score Beltre.
And so the tying run moves into second, and the walk to Branyan setting up Jojima with an RBI single, and it's 4-3.
Well, it all started with that hit batsman of Ichiro to lead off this inning. 1 out later, Mike Sweeney hit the 2-run home run, and Beltre with a base hit, the walk, and now Jojima picking up his 6th RBI. I always thought if I pitched 9 innings, there's always 2 or 3 innings that I have to refocus. Just there's times that you go out there and it's not that you don't want to focus, you just have bad innings. If you can get through that, then you're going to be okay. And as a hitter, probably the same thing.
That's the same thing. Yes, you have to. You can't let it go on too long.
And Mauer will go to the mound after catching ball 1 from Liriano. And while they have a little chat, I was reminded as Bert was eating a couple of night crawlers today, a story I've heard from Bert. I've heard his version, not necessarily yours, about how he introduced you to the flavor of earthworms in your chewing tobacco at one time.
Yeah, he did. I had to constantly open the pack of my chew and check it out, because there are quite a few times that I found some of those worms in there, especially early in the season when it was raining. I'm sure that a couple of times I might have taken a bite or 2 out of those worms. My buddy over here on my right, he was one of the greatest pranksters on the ball club.
We had a lot of fun.
Yes, we did.
2-0 to Gutierrez.
Hey, Rod was eating worms long before I even...
Without realizing it.
There's a strike on the outside corner.
And we don't want kids at home to try that.
The worms or the tobacco.
No.
Right. Liriano laboring here in the 4th inning and trying to keep his team with the lead here. skip to his left to catch ball 2, or block it, ball 3, I should say.
Rod, you have these summer camps that are coming up, the training camps. You looking forward to those?
Well, you know, I've done them in the last couple of years, and they're great because you get a lot of kids to come out. We're trying to teach a lot of these young players how to play the game and to have fun playing the game. So I'm really looking forward to this summer again when I do these games.
3-1 to Franklin Gutierrez. And they are loaded up. And Liriano's had innings like this. The middle inning, I think it was the 5th inning in Chicago, when he was just sailing along. Everything was going fine, and then unable to get through the inning. And the 9th man to bat is their number 9 hitter, Betancourt.
Well, you can see he starts off strong, and then 4 through 6, a very high ERA. Now he's only been able to get into the 7th inning only a couple times.
Betancourt with a bouncer to short to wrap up the 3rd inning. Now a little pop-up. Harris retreats. And that'll end the inning. We'll have more from Rod Carew in the bottom of the 4th. Is brought to you by Quest. Get free 2 gigs online backup service with Quest high-speed internet. By Grand Casino Mille Lacs and Grand Casino Hinckley. Expect grand. And by Chrysler. From power and efficiency to innovation and style, it's the way our vehicles come together that sets us apart. Chrysler. Ball 1 delivered to Michael Cuddyer, leading off the 4th inning, and Rick Anderson is going to try to get Francisco Liriano back on the beam.
Well, just refocus, that's all. Get him back to, throwing good quality strikes. Continue to attack the strike zone.
Cuddyer, Busher, and Young to face Hernandez. Dick Bramer, Burt Blyleven joined by Twins Hall of Famer and Baseball Hall of Famer Rod Carew. Cuddyer goes the other way and bounces a single. Go back to our Aflac trivia question. Presented by the Aflac Duck. Aflac. Who won the other batting title from 72 to 78? George Brett?
George Brett.
It was George Brett.
76.
And Brett actually later won a batting title in the 80s, and then in 1990 he won. I think he's the only guy to win a batting title in 3 different decades.
Well, he played a little bit longer than I did.
Right. Well, you got all yours together.
Yeah. What was the highest you hit one year? Wasn't it 382 you hit one season?
I hit 388 in 77, and that was the year that I received those 6 standing ovations, out at the old net.
I still see the sign out there on the Twinsagram. Rod is hitting 406 or something like that.
Right.
Wow.
I remember those days.
And this was in August, right?
Right around the early part of August.
Right. 1-1 to Busher. Delman Young, Brendan Harris to follow. The Twins leading by just a run, and it's outside. Well, Ron, I know one of the things you're really excited about are the clinics that Bert talked about, and they're coming up in the upper Midwest here. Bloomington, Fargo, River Falls, and Minnetonka starting in the middle of the June and going through early July, and a chance for you, 2-2 to Busher, to share some batting tips with kids at a very formative age in baseball.
Well, it's something that I really enjoy doing, guys. You know, it's going out and teaching. And, you know, I'll do some one-on-one with some of the kids, talk to them about hitting, talk to them about playing the game of baseball.
Busher punches a single to left. And Cuddyer thought about third base, and the Twins come back in the fourth with a pair of singles.
And anything that I can do while I'm there at the camp, you know, I try to make the kids feel more relaxed and not look at me as, you know, Rod Carew, the Hall of Fame baseball player. I want them to be there to focus and learn what we're trying to teach them on that particular day. So hopefully we'll get the family to sign them up and encourage the kids to come out and learn how to play.
Now the trainer is coming out with Don Wakamatsu to talk about something with Hernandez. So the home plate umpire Eric Cooper joining them, and this is a trip necessitated for some physical reason.
You know what, Dick, when he threw that wild pitch in the first inning, I saw him kind of walk toward the home plate, and his arm didn't look right at that time, and I thought I saw something, but you know, he went back out, and maybe he had a little tingle or something in his arm. Sometimes you can do that. But right there, I mean, that ball's up. Good piece of hitting, right? Busher right there taking the ball the other way. And he must have convinced everybody that he's all right.
Now, Rod, at these hitting camps or baseball camps, I think some people might be under the impression that you're going to be there and it's going to be hot. You're going to be in an air-conditioned van. You're just going to wave to everybody and drive off. But I know you take this pretty seriously. You're going to actually give kids some one-on-one instruction, right?
Oh, Dick, it's strictly work for me when I go to these camps. And that's the reason I asked the Twins to allow me to participate in them, because I want to be a teacher.
Drilled to center. Gutierrez with the catch. Front runner Cuddyer will tag and Busher will hold. Young hit the ball very hard for the first out of the inning.
Well, you always enjoyed teaching. I mean, when you weren't the hitting coach for a major league team, you had your hitting school in California.
Well, yes, and that's why, you know, after I retired, I didn't want to come back into baseball. I wanted to be able to stay away from baseball for a while, open a hitting school, work with young hitters in hopes that I can put something back into the game. And by doing these camps, I feel like I'm also trying to do some justice to these kids, watching them hit, picking out some mistakes and trying to correct those mistakes that they're making.
Brendan Harris and what might turn out to be a key at bat in this game. First and third, one away. Popped up down the right field line, chased by Branyan and Lopez. And a no catch and maybe a good play for the Mariners, because Cuddyer at third was setting up for a tag. One strike.
Are there fundamentals, Rod, that you look at a young kid, say he's 13, 14 years old, and I mean, no, you can't have everybody hit the way you did, or
no.
Tony Oliva, or you just try to look at their swing and say, you know, this is what's best for you?
You know, I think they're basic fundamentals. I think the number one thing that I really look at is whether a kid has good balance. You know, because that's the number one thing in just about any sport when you try to break things down.
Right.
And the number two thing is I look to see if he likes to swing the bat. Because, you know, so many kids go up there and they don't want to swing. They want to look for a walk. And I really encourage kids. I don't care how far the ball is off the plate. If you can take a good swing at it, take a good swing, because it's going to teach you, it's going to help you with your eye-hand coordination. And I want you not walking, but trying to learn how to hit, trying to learn how to make contact.
Breaking ball snaps over for a strike, 1-2.
Yeah, I taught my two boys, Tim and Tom, I taught them in basketball. And that was my philosophy. When they get the ball and they're in a certain area, shoot. I mean, but it's the same philosophy.
Oh, definitely.
If they don't shoot, they'll never learn.
Right. Put it up and hope it goes in. Swing the bat and hope you get a base hit.
Right. And
the problem was, I mean, you told them as soon as they got across center court, put it up.
If they were open, let her fly. But you know, it's balance that you mentioned, the same as pitching. I mean, everybody needs to get to a balance point before you explode, and the same thing as hitting. I mean, Harris right here in the batter's box, his balance looks like it's pretty level until that pitcher delivers home, and then more of the weight is on that right back leg.
On that back side, you know,
Right.
and it's more of a timing too, to instead of taking all the weight back, maybe just take his hands back, which will still keep him, you know, maybe 50-50.
Busted bat, a dribbler to third. Cuddyer safe. Beltre's throw up the line. And now Cuddyer will score. Busher will be held at third. So the Gold Glover, Adrian Beltre, tried to do too much at third base, and then the errant throw opens the inning for the Twins.
Well, he thought he had a shot at Cuddyer right here. Cuddyer going back right there, getting his foot on the bag. He actually touches Cuddyer, and then an off-balance throw. And for Beltre, that's his 6th error already on this young season. And then just throwing wildly toward the foul side, gets down the line. Cuddyer scores. Busher over to third as Harris moves to second.
Fielder's choice, error 5, no RBI. And Span at the plate. He's reached both times against Felix Hernandez. Outside, this is one of those opportunities with the Mariners jumping back into the game, getting to within one. Now the Twins have gotten one here. They took advantage of the first mistake by the Mariners, the lost fly ball by Ballantine, and now they need to jump all over this error by Beltre.
Yeah, now they bring the infield in right here. They were back on the first pitch to Denard Span.
Check swing, 2-0. What do you think of this guy, Rod? You spent a lot of time with him in spring training. He's handled a very difficult situation, I think, very, very well.
Well, he has, and he understands the position that he's in, and whenever he gets the opportunity to go out there and play, he just has to go out and play hard and not worry about the other things. The manager is the one that's going to make all the decisions.
You know, you just said you want players to swing the bat, yet this young man seems to have an uncommonly good eye at the plate and swings only at strikes.
Well, he does, you know, especially in a situation like this. You know, he wants to try and drive in a run, so he's got to get a ball that he can drive to the outfield, not just any fastball, but a fastball around his zone that he can drive.
Called strike, and it's 2-2. Span doesn't agree.
Well, that's that two-seamer right there. Span gets right on top of the plate, and then that ball coming back over the plate. Watch the movement right here. Look how close Span is to the plate. And even though he moved back, that ball had plenty of the plate.
Just under the letters, I guess.
And that happens when you start your stride in towards home plate, and you lock yourself up. Now you can't swing.
2-2 to Span with 2 men in scoring position. And boy, how many times did we see you do that with 2 strikes? Just flick the bat out there and keep the at bat alive.
Oh, definitely. You know, now he has to battle. Now he has to try and battle as much as he can, try and win it and get at least one of these runs in.
See, as a pitcher, that frustrated the heck out of me because you think you made a really good pitch and the guy just fouls it off.
Well, I think that's what happened in the Harris at bat too. Right before Harris hit the dribbler to Beltre, he fought off a really tough pitch. And now Span drives it to left. Ballantine with the catch, tagging his Busher. He will score, and the Twins come back with 2 in the bottom of the 4th. And he ended up getting one that he could drive to the outfield.
Good at bat, you know. Even though he allowed the pitcher to come back to 2 strikes, he stayed right in there and picked a run up.
Yeah, got the ball up, man. It's a prior pitch. That was a pretty nasty pitch that he fouled off to keep that bat alive. So right there for Span, he picks up his 15th RBI, and the Twins now take a 6-3 lead.
You know, Bert, just like you said, you know, you break pitchers down, you allow them to throw 6-7 more pitches because they throw you good pitches and you foul them off, and then a lot of times they just groove one and you're ready for it. Take a good swing. And
I've always said, if I'm out there pitching and I have to throw a hitter 5 or 6 pitches, there's probably 1 or 2 that the hitter should have hit. Okay, all my pitches aren't going to be perfect.
Right.
So when that pitcher fouls it or that hitter fouls it off, I'm out there thinking, whoo, I got away with that one.
Right.
Now hopefully you make a better pitch and get him out.
And then you make that better pitch and he fouls it off, and then you start thinking, what's going on? What's he looking for?
I never really thought out there much, Rod.
Sean White warming up in the Mariner bullpen. 2 strikes now to Tolbert.
Dick, he didn't have to think too much, not with those nasty curveballs that he used to throw.
When in doubt, hook them.
Bouncer to short. Betancourt waits for it and throws him out. Good comeback inning for the Twins. A couple of runs back. They lead by 3. And our thanks to our very good friend, Mr. Rod Carew.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you, Rod.
Lottery's winner circle, and this is Karen from Sioux Falls, and take a look at her sign. See that camera over there? The early bird gets the worm. It's all about you, Bert, and you have won $100 in Minnesota State Lottery tickets. Congratulations, and you're obviously, what'd you think about Bert and the Worms?
I thought that was really cool that he did that. I've been watching all week, and he got 2 worms eaten today, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Karen's a big fan. How about that?
Fan.
All right, from Sioux Falls, thanks so much.
Yep, thank you.
Congratulations. How about that, Bert? All the way from Sioux Falls, just for you.
Very nice. She is hereby circled. Thank you very much.
1 strike to Ichiro Suzuki. Bouncer left side, going to be tough play for Harris. And Ichiro beats it out. An infield hit. Ichiro started the 4th inning by being hit by a pitch. And then before the inning was over with, the Mariners jumped back in the game.
Well, I mean, Harris has a great arm. You know, I mean, a great throw right here, puts extra on it, but Ichiro just too quick. I mean, that's his patented infield base hit. Get it past the third baseman, slap it down toward the shortstop, and he's going to beat it out. That's why the guy hits 300 plus year after year.
Here's Lopez. Swing and a foul. You know, Rod, as his career developed, he developed a style and a stance that was all his own. You know, got down into that crouch, laid the bat flat, and just flipped those powerful wrists. And Ichiro's in a way like Rod in that he's got something, a style that is uniquely his. Obviously both very successful.
Oh. And something you don't, I mean, Rod can kind of teach it, but you have to be like him. You know, I mean, there's only one Ichiro. There's only one Rod Carew.
Jose Oquendo tried to hit like Rod Carew out of the same stance, and he had a very good career, but nothing the likes of which Rodney had. 1 strike to Lopez. Last thing Liriano wants is for the Mariners to put together another good inning, and now Lopez cracks one into the corner. Ichiro will round third. He's going to be waved in. And just like that, the Mariners have scored a run, and it's back to a 2-run lead.
Well, looked like a breaking ball right there, and Lopez turning on it and getting a double, an RBI double, his 18th RBI of the year. That's almost a golf shot right there, right down that left field line. By the time Delman Young could get it back in, Ichiro scored from first base.
Sweeney homered to make it a 4-2 ball game, and now he comes up again, this time representing the tying run.
Who would have thought, Dick, going into this ball game, you have Francisco Liriano, you have Felix Hernandez, two of the best young pitchers in the game of baseball, and you look at the scoreboard and you think it's 6-4 already, with nobody out here in the fifth.
Yeah, we said it. Hits and runs are going to come at a premium. And Liriano handed an early 4-0 lead and had 3 perfect innings, and now he can't seem to get any of the Mariner hitters out after they've seen him once. And that pitch misses. 2-0.
"30 pitches last inning to get out of the 4th inning. Liriano now at 64 pitches. Pitch count still good.
Last 11 batters, and Liriano has retired just 3 of them. And this is exactly what happened when Liriano was dealing against the White Sox on that cold Saturday afternoon. Luis Ayala warming up. It looked like he had the White Sox hitters that afternoon eating out of his hand, and then his control was off just a little bit where the strike zone shrunk. Swing and a miss. Sweeney gets green lighted on 3-0.
Oh, good arm angle right here. Good pitch. That 2-seamer down and away. I think Sweeney on that pitch just trying to hit that ground ball toward the right side. He knows, that it's only the 5th inning. Lopez at second. He'd like to get him the 3rd.
Foul back, now 3-2. When Liriano got into some trouble in his last start, he got out of it with 3 strikeouts, and all 3 strikeout pitches were sliders. And we'll see what he does here with a 3-2 count to Sweeney and nobody out. Got him with a breaking ball. 1 away.
Good pitch right there, because Sweeney, I'm sure, looking away. They come back inside and get a big strikeout. Eric Cooper calling it the way it should have been right there. I thought he missed a couple pitches in his prior pitch counts to Mike Sweeney. Well, Liriano picks up his 4th strikeout.
And now Beltre 1 for 2 with a run scored. Ball 1. The fateful inning for Liriano, the one where he was tested against the Tigers, was the 2nd inning in his last start. Drilled to left center field, and it'll make it a 1-run ball game. It'll shoot the gap. Beltre has 2. He wants to hold up there. So Beltre with his 2nd hit. The Mariners come back with at least 2 here in the 5th. The tying run at second with 1 away.
Fell behind, then came in with a pitch, and Beltre jumped all over it. Pitch that kind of stayed up right there. Beltre likes to extend his arms. He's able to. And that ball rolling all the way to the warning track. Lopez scores the 2nd run in the inning, and just like that, it's a 6-5 lead for the Twins. Beltre with his 9th double of the year, picking up his 13th RBI.
Here's Ballantine, who struck out twice. I think in each case on Liriano's changeup. Called strike 1. Liriano ran into trouble in Detroit. He walked Cabrera, Guillen singled. Then he struck out Laird, Inge, and Everett to get out of the jam. And now Ballantine up there with the tying run at second and one away. And you said as effective as Liriano was, and he had some biting sliders against the Tigers, the key was his control of his fastball, something that seems to have left him here in the middle inning.
Right. Again, you're going to have a couple innings throughout a ball game that are going to get away from you, but right here, he's not getting much help from Eric Cooper. Those pitches not missing by much.
2-1. Runner to third. Mauer's throw right on the bag. Joe couldn't have run it down there and dropped it any better than he did with his throw. A huge throw out of Beltre.
Well, Beltre getting kind of a late jump right here. Look at Joe. I mean, look at this throw. All Busher has to do is put his glove on the ground right by the bag. I mean, it's right there.
2-2.
Unbelievable throw.
And a slider misses to fill the count. Liriano struggling to complete 5 innings here, which would qualify him for a win. And something has happened here in the middle innings. The last 13 batters that have faced Liriano, and only 4 of them have been retired.
Dick, I don't think that was the best decision by Beltre. If you're going to steal third, you want to go in at third almost standing up.
Bouncer to short. As it is, it was a big second out. There's the third out. The inning ends. Liriano has completed 5, and the Twins still have a lead. Mom and Dad congratulating Joe after a nice moment before the game, and Liriano shaking his head. Roy Smalley, Ann Carroll, Bert Blylev, and Dick Bramer all here at the Dome.
You get frustrated as a pitcher, especially when your club gives you a 4-0 lead early on, and then you give it right back. They come back and score 2, make it a 3-2, 6 or 6-3 ball game, and then you let the Mariners right back in. So yeah, it's frustrating. The game sometimes can be frustrating.
Well, the Mariners have changed pitchers as the Twins end up dismissing Hernandez after 4 innings. A 1-run lead, Mauer at the plate. And Mauer's ownership of Felix Hernandez continuing tonight with a 2-run double and home run.
Yeah, Sean White making his 9th relief appearance. You can see the very good 1.46 earned run average. Started the season in AAA. His contract was purchased from Tacoma, the AAA affiliate, in the middle of April.
Bauer, Morneau, and Kubel.
White with a sinking fastball, curveball, and a changeup.
3-0. Hitting .500 on the year. Strike on the outside corner. Liriano sandwiched by Kevin Slowey and Rick Anderson. And Baker joining the conversation. Lost foul, and it's 3-2. Morneau on deck. I have to ask Joe what was the most special thing about the pregame ceremony today. Getting the gold glove or the silver bat inside, and he'll draw a walk to lead off the fifth. He's reached all 3 times. I know I spent a lot of time with Tony Oliva on the Caravan over the years, and he has said often it meant more to him to get a gold glove, the only one he got, than it meant to get any of the 3 batting championships, because he had to work so hard on his defense to be considered an accomplished defender. Here's Morneau, a home run and a walk. For that matter, how many batting champions are there who've won gold gloves in the years that they won the silver bat?
If you ask Joe, he probably will say standing out there with Rod Carew and Tony Oliva.
That might be it. 1-0 to Morneau. We're going to have to find that out as Jojima comes to the mound. You go through the list. Now, they had the gold glove. The Rawlings Gold Glove Award was begun in the late 50s, right?
58, I think we were told earlier.
And now here comes Rick Adair, the pitching coach. And since they started awarding them, how many players have won the gold to go along with the silver? Tony won a gold glove, I believe, in one of the years. Look at that. How's that for being an ambassador? You got a pretzel in one hand and a pen in the other to sign autographs.
He is definitely an ambassador, I'll tell you. He goes out to the crowd and just makes himself at home.
Patting a little boy on the head.
Right there with his his younger brother, I believe, or is it older brother? Right? That's his brother behind him. Look at that, he's even sharing.
Morneau takes a strike. It's 2-1. It's Chad Greenway, Viking linebacker, with the Twins shirt on and the cap. Morneau with a big swing and a foul. 2-2. Morneau backed up Mauer's home run in the third with one of his own. The 3 and 4 hitters pulling the same act as they did last night. And Morneau fouling it down the left field line. Trying to keep the Mariners close. They've come back on the Twins twice tonight, but they haven't gotten over the top yet. Off the glove of Beltre. It'll be a hit for Morneau, and the Twins start the 5th inning with the first 2 batters reaching base. Target Field opens up next year, and demand for group outings will be at an all-time high. Groups who purchase a suite or a group of 25 or more during the 2009 season will establish their priority for booking groups in 2010. All 2009 groups in 25 or more receive big discounts on game tickets and concessions. So call 833-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com/groups for information.
Yeah, it's good hitting by Justin Morneau right there. Fastball away. He didn't try to pull it. He just went with it. Beltre almost came up with a great catch. But Morneau gets his second hit of the ball game. Homered behind Joe Mauer's home run in the third. Twins with 7 hits in the ball game, but they scored 6 runs.
Kubel pops it foul and out of play. Kubel bounced into a big double play in the first inning. Big for Felix Hernandez, who had not retired any of the first 4 batters. And then he nearly backed up Mauer and Morneau's home run with one of his own, a warning track fly ball to deep left center field, hauled in by Gutierrez. Up and away, 1-1. White laboring, 14 pitches, just 7 strikes, and he hasn't retired a batter yet. 1-2. Nice block by Jojima, and Mauer nearly went too far from second base.
Yeah, very, very good block right there by Jojima. That ball, breaking ball, it lands around home plate, and he just knocked it down straight over the top, breaking ball. Jojima using everything possible to keep it in front of him.
Two and two to Kubel. Strike him out. And a rare swing and a miss tonight.
Good changeup right there by White.
Ken Herbeck Outdoors presents the Minnesota Twins Bass Fishing Classic, Monday, June 22nd at Maynard's on Lake Minnetonka. Welcome by Fox Sports North. It's your chance to fish with pro fishermen and sports celebrities with proceeds benefiting ALS and Can Curables. For more information, call 612-33-TWINS. Here's Michael Cuddyer. Fastball for a strike. Cuddyer had a hit taken away. Beltre with a great play to wrap up the first inning. And then Cuddyer chopped a base hit into right field through the hole in the right side of the infield, and then later scored in the fourth. One and one. Tonight's Twins lineup, and last night's 11-0 score contributed to it. But the starting lineup for the Twins tonight featured 6 players hitting over 300 on the season. Cuddyer, one of the exceptions. Busher, one of the exceptions. And then Tolbert. But Span, Mauer, Morneau, Kubel, Young, and Harris all started the night hitting over 300.
Yeah, the Twins come into the ballgame hitting .273 as a team. That's 6th best in the American League.
2-1 to Michael Cuddyer. A long way down the left field line.
Wow.
A mammoth 3-run home run for Michael Cuddyer. That was about 5-6 rows from the suite level down the left field line.
That was a blast. What a swing right there, and both hands left on the bat. My goodness. Last night, Brendan Harris hit the first 3-run home run for the Twins this year. Brian Busher later in the ball game did the same. And now Michael Cuddyer, a 3-run home run. And the Twins take a 9-5 lead.
They measure it at 427 feet. It looked from here as if it went almost over the foul pole. Clearly fair, but high enough to go over the foul screen. We've never really had a foul pole here in the Metrodome.
No.
I guess, about 8-9 rows from the back railing.
I think he got all of that.
Dribbler up the right side. Branyan flips to the pitcher. White covering. And Buscher's retired for the second out of the inning.
All of a sudden, the Twins showing some power in this Seattle series. 4 home runs last night, 3 so far here tonight. Cuddyer hitting his 3rd home run of the year.
And Delman Young, dribbler to the left side. Beltre picks it up and fires. Young retired. The inning is over with. But Mauer starts the inning by drawing a walk. Morneau singles. Cuddyer goes deep, and the Twins lead by 4. The Grand Casino game reset.
Well, 3 home runs tonight after hitting 4 in last night's ball game. Mauer Morneau for the 2nd night in a row went back-to-back home runs, and Cuddyer, we just saw him hit the 3-run home run.
5 innings, the end of the night for Francisco Liriano as the game is turned over to Luis Ayala. Strike on the outside corner.
Ayala making his 14th appearance. Liriano right there hoping to get a win. Would be his 2nd win of the year. 77 pitches, 43 for strikes, but I'd have to say 60 of those came in the 4th and 5th inning. Really struggled in the latter 2 innings.
1-1 to Branyan. He'll be followed by Jojima and Gutierrez. 2-1. Holding leads has been an issue for Ayala, and he's been handed a 4-run lead here to begin the 6th inning.
Well, he's had some time off. He last worked on Sunday, did not work on that road trip at all the Twins went on. So maybe a little breather right here will get him back refocused. Ayala, as I mentioned, making his 14th relief appearance on Sunday against the Royals. He ended up working 1 shutout inning.
2-2. Popped up, foul, and out of play. Branyan walked on as far as 3rd base. Mariners struck for 3 in the 4th against Liriano. He had 3 1-2-3 innings to start his night's work, and then all sorts of trouble in the 4th and 5th. 2-2. Laced past Tolbert and into right field. So the leadoff man is on for the 3rd inning in a row for Seattle. Wendy's is proud to present the All Metrodome team, and you can vote tonight only on twinsbaseball.com. You get to help select the roster of Twins greats that played in the Dome. The All Metrodome team is presented by Wendy's. It'll be released later this summer. And remember, twinsbaseball.com is the only place you can cast your vote. And you can cast up to 25 of them. In other words, if you don't know quite how to vote for Justin Morneau to the exclusion of Kent Hrbek, you don't have to. Inside ball one at first base, Ron Coomer, Kent Hrbek, Gene Larkin, Doug Minkiewicz, and Justin Morneau. You can split your 25 votes accordingly. Want to know to Jojima and time called.
Well, Ayala, a sinker ball pitcher, would like to get a ground ball right here.
Chopper to third.
Not hard enough.
And Busher to Morneau, and on the play, Brandon goes to second base.
Kind of one thing Rick Anderson and Ron Gardenhire want Ayala to do is trust his stuff. Throw that sinker down the middle of the plate and trust his stuff.
One on, one out, and here's Gutierrez, who's popped to short and walked. White Sox leading the Rangers 2-1 in the seventh. Yankees trying to come back on the Orioles. It was 11-1. Now it's 11-4 Baltimore in the bottom of the fifth. Detroit and Cleveland, another pitchers duel tonight. 2-1 1-0 last night, and it's scoreless in the seventh inning tonight. Strike one. A frustrating game last night for the Indians in the split lead. And now a former Indian, Franklin Gutierrez, at the plate. 1-1. Ayala's given up a lot of hits coming into the game with 13 1/3 innings, 20 hits allowed, an opponent batting average of .370. Two and one.
Ayala in his seventh season at the major league level with the Expos from 2003 to last year, and then traded over to the Mets, signing with the Twins as a free agent, a one-year contract. Very durable last year. 81 appearances between the Nationals and the Mets. And with the Mets at the end of the season, they were looking for a closer. He ended up getting 9 saves for the Mets.
At the end of the season, the Mets better not be looking for a closer this year.
No.
Rodriguez puts. Two and two. Up high, looked like Eric Cooper might have flinched a little bit, but it's a full count. Betancourt on deck. And fouled away. Mariners got off to a really good start, struggling now with a 5-game losing streak that's brought them back to the 500 mark. Twins hoping to go the other way, put together a winning streak and get above the 500 mark. Another 3-2 coming from Luis Ayala. Gutierrez flips another one foul. we said after the Mariners came in here and played the Twins pretty tough at the start of the year. Sometimes the old saying is true. It's not who you play, but when you play them. And at the start of the year, the Mariners were going really good, and it was not a good time to be playing the Mariners. And it might be that now is a good time, or a better time at least, to be playing them. A foul over the Mariner dugout.
So many ups and downs throughout the season. Of course, the Mariners have been struggling coming into this 3-game series. They are currently on a 5-game losing streak. Losing streaks build character. Kind of tells your manager what kind of club he has. It's easy to win. You know, it's tough to get out of that losing mode.
Off-speed pitch misses, and that fills first base for Betancourt.
Well, that's the pitch I'm talking about right there. I know Gutierrez fouled off some pitches, but he went to his third best pitch to walk him right there with a 4-run lead.
Home Depot doing more on defense. And the throw out at third base. Perfect throw by Mauer may turn out to be the biggest play of this game.
Bad decision right there by Beltre, because he did not have a good jump, even though it's a perfect throw. Thank you very much, Beltre, for allowing Joe Mauer to make that perfect throw.
Another big at bat was Betancourt's first pitch pop-up in the 4th inning. The Mariners had scored 3. They had the bases loaded, and Betancourt, who is a notorious first ball hitter, hit a weak little pop-up to Harris to end the inning and leave the bases full. 1 strike. Roller to short. How many can they get? 1, 2.
Nice turn by Tolbert.
The sinker ball, if that's what it was, induced the double play, and Ayala pitches the scoreless 6th.
Inning, it's time for Coors Light Freeze Cam. Off the bat of Joe Mauer, all 3 homers over the last 3 weeks.
All right.
Good place to get seats right there, Dick.
A couple of seats over from the aisle. This one is a row or so on the other side of the aisle. And now where's tonight's? Yeah, about 3 rows over. A Frostproof Coors Light Freeze Cam. You really could take a tablecloth and throw it over the landing spot of those 3 home runs.
If I'm coming to the ballpark, I want to sit in that section right there. Bring my glove.
Twins leading by 4, but the Mariners keep threatening to come back and score more. Another Mariner pitcher, Denny Stark, comes into the ball game.
Yeah, Stark just getting called up from AAA. Tacoma.
And Harris fouls the first pitch back.
Stark originally came to the major leagues with the Mariners back in 1999 and then reappeared a couple years later. Then went over to the Rockies. And in his first season back with the Mariners,
the glove of Beltre. Betancourt picks it up and will have no play. So Beltre, who's committed a throwing error here, has had 2 of them kick off his glove. Then you mix in the base running mistake, and it's not been the best of nights.
We see that ball. I think it jumped on him right there, and that's what he's kind of looking at. The ball kind of skipped hard on him, almost like the turf was wet.
Maybe it hit a worm.
Did they end up giving him an error?
Oh, you got to give him an error on that.
Oh, yeah, that's his second error of the ball game and his 7th error of the year.
Both of them in the Harris at bats. Here's Denard Span. It's been about an hour since I've asked, but how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. So far, so good.
Span with a sacrifice fly his last time up. He's also walked, doubled, and scored.
I haven't eaten my hot dog yet because I don't want to feed that worm. The one that I did swallow whole.
Outside a ball. Well, in the pregame show, Bert came through in his promise for donations to the Parkinson's Foundation. He ate 2 night crawlers picked out of my driveway about a week ago.
It's a good thing I washed them down.
You can go to Facebook.com, search FSN North, and see a grown man eat worms.
Isn't that awesome? Look at that. He even spelt it right.
2-1. The worst part of this for me, and I was more than happy to donate the money. The worst part of this for me is I love to fish, and I love to use night crawlers as bait. For the rest of my life, if I'm retired and fishing for walleyes for 30 years after I give up baseball, every time I hook on a night crawler, I'm going to think of you eating them.
Which one, the first one or the second one?
Well, unfortunately, the second one is more memorable because we got to see more of the second one. I just in the hallway past Rick Riz, one of the Seattle broadcasters, and they had the monitor in their booth of our pregame show. Span, a little pop-up, and Beltre will try to squeeze this one, makes the catch one away. And Rick was wondering whether I got queasy when you...
I was going to ask you that. How did you...
I was fine, but he inferred that he got a little queasy watching it, watching the second one reappear. There's Rick, great broadcaster for the Seattle Mariners. 1 down in the 6th. Here's Matt Tolbert. And then we had a deal, I think. This year night crawlers, next year leeches, right?
Well, again, I thank everybody that donated, whether it was $5 or $5,000. Thank you, everybody, for your donation to Parkinson's, and hopefully one day, as so many different things, we will find a cure.
Fouled away off the bat of Tolbert, 2 strikes.
Young lady getting applause for barehanding that.
Tolbert walked and scored in the first. Since then, a strikeout and a ground out. Rangers and White Sox are tied at 2 in the 7th on the south side of Chicago. In the dirt, another nice block by Jojima.
Dennis Stark, 34 years old. He had 2 Tommy John surgeries back in 2005. Missed all of 2006 and 2007.
That's why he says being called up again this time was more gratifying than the first time he got called to the major leagues, because he had to work and work and work and rehab and rehab and rehab, and finally broke through again to the major leagues.
Well, you know what? When you have that confidence, and I went through that toward the end of my career when I had my shoulder surgery, that I missed a year and a half, and you tell yourself you can get back there, and it's rewarding when you finally get back there. All the hard work I'm sure that Stark put in hopefully will pay off for him in the years to come.
2-2 to Tolbert, who's hitting in front of Mauer, then Morneau. Twins hope to do more damage here in this inning. And Tolbert with a foul ball, and Goldschmidt can't quite hang on. The thing to remind Twins fans of is that it's called the Tommy John surgery, but it's also the Scott Aldridge surgery. It's the Joe Mays surgery. The success rate is not as high as people would think, given the man the surgery was named after. I mean, Tommy John was the first pitcher to come back, have the surgery, and resume a major league career, and no one has come close to duplicating that success.
Right.
Two and two to Tolbert, having a good battle with Stark here. And finally, Stark wins it 2 away.
Yeah, good sinker down and away. Stark picks up a strikeout.
Mauer with another good night at the plate. 2 for 2 with a walk, and the 2 hits have been extra base hits.
Well, you look at the swings of Joe Mauer, the way he's able to just keep his head down and on the ball as it makes contact with the bat. Both of them resulting in home runs last night and here tonight.
In the first inning, he pulled the ball into the right field corner for a 2-run double, and it takes ball 1. Been some mistakes by the Mariners in this game. A lost fly ball on the ceiling. The Twins capitalized. A Beltre error in the 4th. They capitalized. And now a Beltre error again here in the 6th, and it'll be left to Mauer to jump on the mistake and turn it into a run or runs. 2-0. With Morneau hitting next. Felix Hernandez went 4 innings. Gave up a lot of hits, a lot of runs, and then was visited on the mound by the trainer in his last inning of work, and left after 4.
Yeah, I went next door and asked them if there was anything wrong, if they had heard any reports on Hernandez, and they said other than the ankle injury that he had, but that was here on opening day. Yeah. So maybe just a bad outing.
Bauer takes down the middle, 3-1.
And he has not had too many bad outings against the Twins. Again, he came in with a 3-2 record, but an ERA at 2.23 against the Twins.
Three and 2. Young girl excited as soon as her brother gives it back to her. Three and 2 to Mauer. Harris takes off from first. And Mauer flips another one foul. Underway in Anaheim, the Angels and Royals. The Angels helped the Twins out last night by cooling off the Royals. Looks like the Angels are due to get back John Lackey and Irvin Santana here shortly. Bounced foul. Start of the year, the division was the Angels to win. Most people thought they were a shoo-in to win it, but all the adversity they've had to deal with, they find themselves just a game and a half behind Texas. And Mauer works a walk to get Morneau up with 2 men aboard. Kids ages 8 to 14, don't miss your chance to be on TV as the Aquafina Kidcaster. Go to your local Cub food stores and pick up your entry to register and win. If chosen, you'll have a chance to be on our Twins Live pregame show as the Aquafina Kidcaster. And the promotion ends May 30th.
That would be a lot of fun.
Here's Morneau. He's reached all 3 times. And he takes outside a ball. A walk on the first, a home run on the third, and then a single and a run scored in the 5th. And Stark has another one sail wide. He has hit them there before. Hit one just underneath that sign for a home run in the 3rd. 3-0 with Kubel on deck. Twins wearing the Saturday night specials, the throwback uniforms going back to 1982. And they seem to enjoy them. I know when the players modeled the uniforms in the wintertime, they said, you know, these feel pretty comfortable. Stark hits the outside corner. Look at that. When he's ahead in the count, he's hitting .438.
Probably a pretty good fastball hitter, huh?
And Stark shaves the outside corner again. It's a full count. And Harris and Mauer will leave early. You know what? Isn't it possible for a hitter to have a good take and have a strike called against him too?
Ooh, he went with a changeup right there, and Justin fouled it straight back.
And Morneau on the pitch called strike 2. It was a fastball. It was a, you like to call it a pitcher's pitch. Fastball down and away. That's a good take for the hitter, isn't it? Why put a ball like that in play if you're not going to be able to drive it?
Well, you go back to the prior pitch, too. I mean, 3-0, I'm sure he had the green light, but he's looking fastball in. And Stark threw both of them away, and he misses with that one for a 2nd straight walk.
So Mauer and Morneau have each reached all 4 times tonight. And now Stark has to face Kubel with the bases loaded.
And Cuddyer, he spent a lot of time between the dugout and walking to the mound over the last couple days. Just giving his right-hander a breather right here. Stark has thrown 29 pitches so far in this inning.
Well, Mauer really had to work for his walk. He fouled off some 2-strike pitches and ended up extending the inning, and now the chance for the Twins to put together a big inning with Kubel up and the bases loaded.
And that's what we talked about with Rod Carew about that. Good hitters foul off those nasty pitches. Stark, I remember, good fastball away, he fouled off, then a changeup he fouled off, and then he walked on the next pitch.
And Kubel takes ball 1. I got a call here. An extra base hit at least.
Well, that'd be good because Jason Kubel is my pick to stick tonight.
Is that right?
Yes. I like your call.
And now he's got to come to him on 2-0. No place to put him.
Oh, he can walk him and put it first if he wants.
Wakamatsu hoping for a longer outing from his ace, Felix Hernandez. Now a foul, 2-1. Get into the Mariner bullpen, and I don't know that there's a team in baseball that is well served by activating its bullpen in the 5th inning. There aren't many teams that can get effective middle relief these days. 2-2.
I think Wakamatsu was hoping that Sean White would go more than 1 inning. And he ended up giving up 3 runs in that 5th inning, all off the bat of Michael Cuddyer with his 3rd home run of the year.
2-2 to Jason Kubel. And now the track meet begins. Cuddyer on deck, bases full count. All the runners will go with 2 outs. Ground ball to second. Lopez has it. And the inning ends. So the Twins leave the bases full but still lead by 4.
Back-to-back nights. You see Joe Mauer right there getting a big 2-run double that gave the Twins a lead. And then Mauer and Morneau in the 3rd inning went back-to-back home runs again. And then Michael Cuddyer in the 5th inning, a long 3-run home run, his 3rd of the year.
And Ichiro Suzuki leading things off. I want to pass along our best wishes to Twins manager Ron Gardenhire, who's become ill, under the weather, and not on the bench. Probably up in the clubhouse watching the game. So our best wishes to Gardy. 2-0 to Ichiro. Scored a couple of runs, hit by a pitch leading off the 4th, and scored. Infield single in the 5th, and he later scored. Well, I hope, obviously it's nothing serious with Ron Gardenhire, and I hope that whatever he's come down with wasn't the result of watching our pregame show.
I don't think he gets that way.
Okay. 2-1 to Ichiro. High fly to right field, and Cuddyer over a few steps for the first out. Ayala got through the 6th inning. I'm hoping to have a quicker scoreless 7th inning.
Yeah, he took a little off that pitch right there, and Ichiro got underneath it, and that's really an easy out right there. Ichiro does have occasional power, but you can get that guy to pop up. You're doing something. He is such a good hitter.
Here's Jose Lopez, an RBI double in the 5th. Later scored.
Yeah, Lopez had a pretty good pitch, I thought, from Liriano in that 5th inning. The ball was down and in. He just kind of golfed that double down the left field line.
Lopez in the middle of the comeback inning for the Mariners after Ichiro was hit by a pitch. He had a screaming line drive to Span, so he spanked the ball pretty hard his last 2 times up. 1-1. All back. 1-2. Well, for a while that was going to come up here.
That was coming.
Had somebody when Kansas City was here, Lavelli Neal.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping it would hit him.
It got him, one or the other. Somebody, Brian Lefevre asked me how many baseballs have come into our booth here, and in the 25 plus years I've been sitting up here, 2 balls have come up here. That's it.
I don't think there has been one since I've been here.
That's up the line, foul. Houston Jimenez, I know was one, and some visiting player did it.
I wonder why, huh?
No, we've got a concrete bunker extending out about 8
There
feet in front of us.
Hard to get.
Lopez pops it up. Busher over for a look. And the catch, out number 2. Have a Dodge game break, and again we'll take you to Progressive Field. With no score in the game, the Tigers drive in a run with a Ramon Santiago single. I guess that made the score 2-0. The Tigers won 1-0 last night. And what in the world's going on in Cleveland? Not getting very effective pitching for a long time, and now they're not getting much hitting either.
Well, Justin Verlander pitched a complete game shutout last night, and Edwin Jackson pitching tonight for the Tigers. So far shut out the Indians.
Sweeney fouls it away after asking Ayala to take the rosin bag and roll it down the back of the mound. It's a very troubling start for the Indians, who of course had so many injuries last year and couldn't really get going until it was too late. Played well in the second half, and some people thought if the season lasted another 2 weeks or so, they might have caught the White Sox and the Twins. Cleveland ended up 7 games behind the Twins.
So I guess we'd have to play about 190 games for them to catch up.
But the last thing they wanted to do was to, look up at 4 teams and not play good baseball the first 2 months of the year again this year.
A lot of baseball experts picked the Indians to win a division. Ayala right now get through this inning, and that pitch just missing right now. It's the most he has worked so far, an inning and 2/3. Twice he's gone an inning and a third. So with that big rest between Sunday and today, hopefully get through 2 good innings.
Breaking ball away, 3-1.
Maybe one more. Ayala with 33 pitches in the ball game, 19 strikes, 14 balls. He's given up only 1 hit.
Three and 2 to Sweeney. Liriano called him, got him on a called 3rd strike, a key out as Liriano was struggling to complete 5 innings. Sweeney fouls another fastball away. No score, bottom of the second, Kansas City and the Angels, trying to score some runs against Zach Greinke tonight. Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck.
3-2 to Mike Sweeney. Got him, tied him up inside, and Ayala pitches a couple of scoreless innings. Fox Sports North is brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. By Dodge. Live strong, live bold, live now. Dodge. Grab life. And by Aflac. We've got you under our wing.
There you go. You're a Mountain Dew fan of the game.
And he's watched the Twins score 9 runs tonight after 11 runs last night.
It looked a little bit like my son-in-law, Steve Cohn.
The guy who was here the last homestand. A very nice man. Cuddyer swings and misses. Cuddyer cranking a 3-run home run his last time up.
David Artsman now coming into the ball game. You'll see that he has 3 saves, but the Mariners made a move today. Brandon Morrow back in that bullpen. He's the closer for the Mariners. They put Carlos Silva on a disabled list with a bad shoulder. Artsma, a hard-throwing right-hander in his first season with the Seattle Mariners. There's Carlos.
Carlos has tried so hard and he's worked so hard, lost a lot of weight this year to get ready for his second year in Seattle, and it just has not worked out. Some very good years with the Twins. He's a great teammate and continues to be a great teammate with the Mariners. He just hasn't pitched effectively. 2-2. Cuddyer, Busher, and Young scheduled to hit against the hard-throwing Artsma. Twins have Mac Guerrero warming up in their bullpen. And Artsma just rears back and strikes out Cuddyer for the first out of the 7th.
Good high fastball right there, and Cuddyer swinging through it. Artsma, 27 years old. He came up with the Giants. He spent time with the Cubs, the White Sox, Boston, and now in Seattle.
Busher 1 for 3, singled in the 4th, and came in to score on a Span sacrifice fly. Ball 1. Lefty Eric Bedard going tomorrow for the Mariners. Decent bet that Busher will not start tomorrow. Twins might slide Brendan Harris over to third and put Nick Punto back in at short. 1-1.
Yeah, and for the Twins, it'll be Nick Blackburn starting tomorrow.
Pretty good bet. Mike Redmond will catch. Joe Mauer might DH. 2-1. Kind of hard to take Mauer's bat out of the lineup these days. He's reached 4 times again tonight. Two and two. Young is hitless so far tonight. He'll hit next, but at some point, you know, the Twins want to get Carlos Gomez back in the lineup, maybe against Eric Bedard tomorrow. Three and two. Twins have an off day on Monday, then the Tigers come to town for 3. Busher works a walk with 1 out in the 7th. Tomorrow's another Blue Bunny Kids Day. The Twins and Mariners conclude the series, and you can buy a ticket in the Home Run Porch or Cheap Seats and get 2 kids under 14 into the game for free. Young man having a great time at the ball game tonight. Blue Bunny Kids Day is one of the great values in all of baseball. Call 800-33-TWINS for tickets. And remember, kids get ice cream and autographs on the Plaza pregame and get to run the bases following the game. High and tight, ball 1 to Delmon Young.
One thing with Artsma, we've already seen his MO. He'll get a strikeout, then he'll walk somebody. Coming into this season, 90 walks in 144 major league innings, but with 139 strikeouts.
1-1.
Twins have taken 7 walks tonight.
1-2. Span drew one. Tolbert drew one. Bauer 2. Morneau 2. And now the walk issued to Busher. And Archman strikes out Young. 2 down.
Good low fastball, little movement, and Delman Young is his second strikeout victim.
That'll bring up Harris to 3 ground balls and has reached twice on Adrian Beltre errors.
So he should probably try to hit this to Beltre.
Strike on the outside corner. And a breaking ball over. 2 strikes. Teams are forever hoping that they can turn a player into a better pitcher, or the player in Archman's case with the Mariners, they hope that they'll be able to harness his control after other teams have tried and failed. The White Sox, in a span of a couple of years, brought in Mike McDougal and ended up signing him to a multi-year deal, and now this year releasing him. The big Andrew Cisco that the Royals had was acquired by the White Sox. That didn't work out very well. Archman in there.
Yeah, Cisco ended up having the Tommy John surgery.
Right.
McDougal, I saw, just signed a minor league contract. I believe it was with the Giants, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so there you go. Now the Giants are going to try to turn around this guy who the Royals couldn't figure out what to do with him. And
it was a #1 pick by the Royals. They were high on him.
It's deep to the right field corner. And
he had that one good year where he had all those saves for the Royals. After that, his control just went south.
Well, the Twins aren't exempted either. That's what they're trying to do with Juan Murillo. They're trying to get him focused, work with Bobby Cuellar down in the minor leagues to try to get him to be able to control a great power arm. 1-2 to Harris. Just getting the outside corner, and Archman strikes out the side, walks one. We've seen that before from Archman. able to fry them up. Indoors here, no fishing going on, but Adrian Beltre and the Mariners are behind the Twins 9-5.
Well, good job by Luis Ayala. He worked 2 shutout innings. Now we'll see if Matt Guerrero can get a shutout inning, something he's been able to do, making his 14th appearance. Over his last 7 outings, covering 9 innings, he's allowed only 2 hits and no runs. Beltre tried to get a run right there real quick. The big swing.
Beltre's steal attempt in the 5th inning might have been the pivotal play in this game. And he catches that one, sends it high and deep to left. And gone. He hits a home run here, and it's 9-6.
Well, for Beltre, his first home run of the year. And it's been a while for Beltre. Here's a guy that's, capable of hitting 25, 30 home runs a year. A breaking ball left middle in. And Beltre got it high and deep. And just clearing the fence.
And now Ballantine, who's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Breaking ball in the dirt, ball 1. Mariners getting 3 in the 4th, a couple in the 5th, now 1 here in the 8th. And the Twins still leading by 3 thanks to the Cuddyer 3-run homer. Bouncer left side. Harris gets in front of it. And a perfect throw across, 1 away.
That home run allowed by Matt Guerrero, only his 2nd home run he's allowed. The other home run coming here against the Toronto Blue Jays. Marco Scudero hitting a 2-run home run off of him.
As was the case last night, Span will finish the game in left field and Gomez will finish in center. 1 down, and here's Russell Branyan. Well, if the Mariners don't score, the fact that they did score 1 might mean that Joe Nathan will get a save opportunity in the 9th. Right now it's a 3-run lead. If it's a 3-run lead going into the 9th, it's a save opportunity. That might get Nathan in the game rather than perhaps Jose Majares. Nathan hoping for that opportunity. 2-0 to Branyan. There's a strike on the outside corner. Two and 2. Numbers on the year. That's coming into the game. Obviously, Beltre's added another home run. 2 and 2, and a breaking ball got him. Great pitch, bending over the outside corner.
Well, Matt, one of those relievers. He has 4 pitches: good fastball, slider, and then this curveball right here. Boy, it just stayed outer half, and he gets a punch out.
Part of the fun of coming to the ballpark is eating. You can attest to that, right? The all-you-can-eat seats are back next Tuesday night when the Twins host the Tigers. For one low price, you can enjoy a Twins game for the Twins' historic final season in the Dome, plus all the hot dogs, soda, soft pretzels, peanuts, popcorn, and nachos you can eat. These seats are limited, so call 800-33-TWINS today and visit twinsbaseball.com. Jojima, the hitter. You could stop eating right now and get really, really, really hungry for Tuesday night, and then just fill up.
Just pick out, huh?
Yep. 1-1 to Jojima. One and 2. Young man with a baseball that he will, I was going to say treasure, but that's not what happens. Usually boys get a baseball like that, and before long they go out, they play with it, right?
It'll be out on the street.
Yeah. Great stop at third by Busher. And it'll be an infield hit for Jojima. Busher, at the very least, made a nice stop and took an extra base hit bid away from Jojima.
Well, great effort right there by Busher, because he tried to throw this ball after diving for it right there and still able to get that something on that ball, at least across the diamond. Great effort right there, but Jojima gets his second hit of the ball game. And for the Mariners, they're ninth.
And now Franklin Cuddyer is the hitter. It's leading by 3, but the Mariners have mounted comebacks against them here tonight. Ball 1. Again, the Mariners really struggling to score runs in their recent games. 6 runs tonight, and they're still down by 3. In their 5 consecutive losses, they'd scored a total of 9 runs. Fly ball center field. Gomez out there prancing around, makes the catch to end the inning. A leadoff home run by Beltran. That's all they get. Twins still up by 3.
With you back at the Metrodome. The Twins up 9-6. We're in the middle of the 8th. Be sure to stay with us after the game for Quest Twins Live, featuring the Toyota post-game wrap. On it, we will talk about striking early for the 2nd straight game. The Twins get on the board in the 1st. How can we not talk about Joe and Justin? Of course, Joe and Justin, Morneau and Maurer going back-to-back again tonight. And our instructional this evening, covering first correctly. That's all coming up after the game on Quest Twins Live, featuring the Toyota post-game wrap. We'll see you then. Guys, back to you.
Well,
thank you, Ann.
Yeah, thank you. And young lady, you are hereby circled. Nice job on that sign.
I'm assuming covering first, you'll be the guy who repeatedly will be asked to run from the mound as fast as you can.
It'll be, how much time do we have? We may only do it once.
No. I think fans would want to see that happen 10, 15 times. Here's Span, and he takes ball 1 from Miguel Batista.
Well, Batista worked in last night's ball game, an inning and a third. He did give up 3 hits, a couple runs, both earned with a couple walks.
And that's fouled off of Span's leg.
Batista came into the ball game and proceeded to throw that little slider to Busher that Busher hit the 3-run home run in that 5-run 5th inning for the Twins. The numbers on Batista, making his 11th appearance.
Seems like he's pitched in every game against the Twins. Again, it's a weird schedule. Seattle will wrap up their Minnesota part of their schedule tomorrow, and they'll say goodbye to the Metrodome, and then we play 3 in Seattle in early June, and then we're done with the Mariners. Not a complaint, it's just the way it is this year. Of course, the Twins would like to believe that they could pay the Mariners back. The Twins were in Seattle last year, part of that long 2-week-long road trip, and things didn't go well in Seattle. They didn't go well in Toronto. It was a rough go for the ball club. 2-2, and another foul from Span. Span with a sacrifice fly in the 4th. Walked in the 3rd. Was thrown out trying to steal for the first time this year in the 3rd. Started the game with a fly ball to left that Valentin didn't see. It dropped for a double. And now Span is called out on strike starting the 8th.
A good hard breaking ball hitting the outer half of the plate. Eric Cooper calling that outside part of the plate now. And Batista picks up a strikeout. Yeah, good pitch.
My goodness, Zach Greinke has given up a run. It's 1-0 Angels in the 4th inning. Must have been an unearned run. Tolbert lifts it foul down into the seats. Tolbert struck out a couple of times, walked and scored in the 1st. And a foul. White Sox leading the Rangers 3-2, top of the 9th. One and 2. And now the White Sox have finished off the Rangers 3-2. Tolbert strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. 2 down.
Well, David Arzma came in and struck out 3 last inning, and here Batista gets 2 strikeouts the first 2 batters he faces.
Bauer's yet to be retired tonight. A 2-run double in the 1st, solo homer in the 3rd, and a pair of walks since. I remember, since we had Rod Carew with us earlier tonight, people said of Carew he was a greedy hitter. He would get 3 hits, and then he would try to get a 4th and a 5th, but I mean he took it very seriously. He wasn't satisfied with 3 hits, and I found it interesting that Carew apparently isn't satisfied at all with Joe Mauer's 2 batting titles. So go out and win 5 more.
Yeah, how could people say that he's greedy though if he gets 4 hits? I mean, if he has 3, he wants 1 more.
2-1. There's a drive that some players have to have an already really good night and make it even better.
Well, yeah, it's also called ability too. You're talking about two guys that have a lot of ability, and they've worked real hard at their craft to make themselves even better.
But look, you know, this at bat is in the 8th inning here, and the Twins are 3 runs in front.
You have to look at it, Dick, that this might be your last at-bat ever. And that's the way you have to look at it. For Batista, it might be his last performance ever.
Deep to left. And Valentin makes the catch on the warning track. Bauer finally retired. Batista has a 1-2-3-8. Good start to his night, getting a Gold Glove and a silver bat.
Yeah, then what does he do? First at bat, pulling that ball down the right field line, a 2-run double. And then his next at bat, a home run, his third of the year. And he walked a couple times, did a great job behind the plate, again handling a pitching staff, and then showing off his arm.
And the Twins now with a 3-run lead. And in the ninth with Joe Nathan, who will try to pick up save number 5.
Yeah, Joe worked the ninth inning in last night's ball game, preserved that 11-0 win, the first shutout for the Twins this year. He threw 16 pitches, 11 strikes, looking for his 5th save of the year. His last save coming on May 1st against the Royals when the Twins won 7-5.
Little pop-up. Tolbert calls for it. 1 down. Again tonight, the Twins flexing some muscle with 3 home runs on the Jeep game reset.
Yeah, 4 last night, 3 here tonight. Second night in a row that Twins have hit back-to-back home runs, both by Morneau and Mauer. And Michael Cuddyer, a big 3-run home run in the 5th inning.
Ichiro 1 for 3, scored a couple of runs. Hit by a pitch by Liriano in the 4th. And I don't know whether that rattled Liriano or stirred the Mariners or what, but they were pretty much dead in the water, or so it appeared until that time, and ended up sending 9 men to the plate in the 4th and put together another threat, scored a couple of runs in the 5th. 1 strike to Ichiro, and now 2 strikes.
Another good breaking ball from Joe Nathan, 2 in a row. And Ichiro kind of backing away on that breaking ball. He's one of these guys that can hit and run out of the box at the same time. That little spin he does right there, it's like if he makes contact, boom, there he goes.
I've never seen a hitter, forget one that hits over 300, it might be in the Baseball Hall of Fame, whose head moves so much. I mean, his head is here, and by the end of his swing, his head is in another time zone.
Hey, you think Rod Carew could teach him? Son, you can't hit like that.
How about Rod Carew's high school coach? I bet you he could teach him.
And then he still left him tickets when he wanted tickets. Beautiful.
They weren't very good seats, maybe, but got him in the ballpark.
That's right.
1 and 2. To Ichiro. And now 2 and 2. There is a growing chance that Ichiro will be the first Pacific Rim player to be enshrined in Cooperstown. With a stroke like that,
a magic wand.
Gomez will get to it. And Ichiro's aboard. Well, the Mariners get the tying run to the on-deck circle. Time for a look at our Land Rover extraordinary play, and it was a long home run off the bat of Michael Cuddyer.
Cuddyer getting all of it. His 3rd home run of the year, a big 3-home run in the bottom of the 5th.
Now suddenly this Lopez at bat is pretty critical with Sweeney and Beltre, the next 2 hitters. It won't be Sweeney. Barring a double play, it'll be Ken Griffey Jr. who will be hitting for the Mariners. 1 strike.
Well, Nathan faced Lopez last night in the 9th inning. He had a little soft line drive to Justin Morneau for the first out of the night.